Alright, Monday morning. On the way to, got an exciting day. A busy day, exciting day. Coming by to get married on a Moonday morning. Good morning, Dr. Graham here, live on the YouTube that is. Well, I hope everybody's doing okay. And so we've got three big things right off the top of my head that's taking place this moon day. First and foremost, people are coming by to get married. Now, isn't that awesome? Getting married on a moon day, the week of Thanksgiving. It is really exciting for them. So they confirmed last night. They called me to confirm that they were coming by the office, so I can't dilly-dally. The courthouse opened at 8. They'll be getting their marriage license, and then I would say by 9 or something after 9, latest, they'll be by the office. Now, that is the big thing there. Second thing, if you watched what posted yesterday on the Sunday, it was a beautiful day, one of the most beautiful days we've had in a while. We got down to freezing. We actually already had a dusting of snow, which for Alabama before Thanksgiving. So we've had a frost, we've had a snow, checking my fuel there, and it got chilly. It got freaking chilly there for a minute, and then bam, of course this is typical, turned out beautiful. Didn't do anything to speak of on Saturday as far as going anywhere, but Sunday I had something to do at the office, and then to top that off, it's like, there's a cemetery not far from my office. They had built something out there that caught my attention. I saw them building it. I never got up on it, but I thought I want to go by and check that out. Beautiful old yard there that I've done filming in before, so I thought it's a beautiful day. I'm going to go and I'm going to do some filming in the cemetery just to enjoy the weather, the sunshine and whatnot, and plus I like to keep some new material up here on YouTube. So that's what I did, and you'll see that if you watch that. And in my meandering around the cemetery, the old and new parts of it, I stumbled upon something really strange, extraordinary, strange, weird. I don't have a clue. So I got online. I did some investigating, and then I found out about this Dybbuk box, this Jewish demon thing that people are all into right now, and I don't know, I guess there was some movie about it or something that I'm totally unaware of. But the strange thing was that anyway, I'm not even saying that this is a Dybbuk box. I'm saying it was a cemetery. It looks like the box is tied up with some twine, and it looks like the twine was shaped in like the Star of David. I don't know. This is guesswork. I have not opened it. It was semi-buried out there in the old part of the cemetery, not on a grave, but right on the outskirts of the cemetery itself. And it just caught my eye as I was walking around. And I passed it up, but there was a red color that, if anything's out of the ordinary color-wise, you're walking along, it doesn't matter what the size of it is. It'll kind of catch your eyes because you're walking along and you've got you're filming what you see as you're walking, and anything that does not look right color-wise or metallic or anything like that, without even looking into, it's going to catch your eye. So it caught my eye, but I did not stop because a tree had also caught my eye that I wanted. It's like, wow, the tree was gutted at the bottom, and I just wanted to get that. I thought that's neat. Looks like the trunk of the tree is dead. The tree was fully standing, and of course all the leaves were turned and brown and dark colored, like they were dying. But the trunk of the tree toward the ground was like totally gutted. Kind of reminded me of some of these places where people build out these little fairy homes, gnome homes or whatever. And that was really what I was focused on as I was walking by this area that caught my attention. Then a few other things caught my attention, and then it was like, okay, I want to go back and investigate what had caught my eye. I've got to walk by it anyway to get back to where I'd parked my vehicle, so it wasn't like I had to trek anywhere that I wasn't going anywhere. So I did a little bit of filming, some more tombstones and trees and just the overall area, and then I decided I want to go back and I wanted to investigate and see what that was that caught my eye anyway. Sometimes it's just trash. You'll see, I know in another area, and it was like old Sonic soda cup, one of those styrofoam cups, and a piece of it. So, I always kind of look, anything that looks extraordinary, you never know. Some people have rituals in cemeteries. Some people lose stuff in cemeteries. And not just in cemeteries, just anywhere I am filming, trails, whatever, something catches my eye, and clearly you're in nature, and this doesn't look right, this stands out. So that's what I did. And in a pile of, I say debris, there was limbs and just, looked like it'd been. Okay, that was really weird. The app just gave me a problem there, so I don't know. The whole screen just froze. The app had to be shut down and restarted, but it did let me resume this live stream and this subject here. So anyway, so I took this item back to I talked about it a little bit. I left the conference table, and because I wanted to do a little research. If it had been on a particular grave, then I probably would not have taken it. It was not on or near anybody's grave. If it had been, I could have followed up by researching the deceased and any survivors and anyone related or knows this person and why this might have been there. But it wasn't on or near any grave site. It was on kind of, like I said, there was a fenced-in area. I have to walk around and through an area that is like, I don't know, 20 feet at least from the nearest grave, but it's the only way you can get to that part of the graveyard, the cemetery. And so it wasn't like it had anything to do with anybody's grave. Given the condition of everything, I thought I'm going to take this. I'm going to investigate it. I want to find out what it is. I'm curious. It's strange, and that's when my investigations led to what everybody's hyped up about this Dybbuk. Dybbuk, I guess is the way to pronounce it. But I've discovered the way everybody else is pronouncing it, Dybbuk box. So one person had Dybbuks with an X on the end, which is not appropriate. It's not the correct way. It's Dybbuk. It ends with a K. Dybbuk. So that's where that all goes, and it has to do with I guess a Jewish legend, you might say, about a demon spirit. In the truest sense, there's different people have come out with different stories regarding it. From an educated viewpoint, from someone who has studied Jewish beliefs and Jewish history, Jewish tradition, and that sort of thing, a lot of what's out there don't seem to be true, because according to those who have actually studied this subject, not basing it on some urban legends or movie or something like that, the Dybbuk is a true name that they refer to as a demon. But the demon there's no record of this possessing a item. It's always possessing a person. So I don't know. So that kind of steers me away from calling this a Of course, I don't know what's in it, you know. I just know the fascination right now with this Dybbuk box, and I think that whole thing is really hogwash. I've seen it. I've seen, you know, I posted to one person that they put a Dybbuk box in his house, and all this strange stuff started happening. And you read the comments, and some people are like, "Ooh, yeah, that's scary," and other people are saying it's fake, and that kind of stuff. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, I've got 360 cameras. I'll volunteer, given my background, everything I know, clergy, been involved in exorcisms, minor exorcisms, house blessings, paranormal research, all the above, been part of my life for longer than most of these people have been alive. The reality is that I would be glad to take a 360 camera and set it up and hey, let's catch something. I've got more than one. I've got 360 cameras. Under the right circumstances, I'll buy a couple of more, and we'll have one in each room. We will find, just because it's always something that they never quite catch on camera. You know what I'm saying? And it's like always something rolling past the open door. You can't see where it started. It's always something that falls that they hear, or you catch the last part of it falling because they swing the camera around. Or a door that's kind of creeping open. All these kind of things. So there's a way to prove this stuff. There's a way to debunk all this stuff, and it's the technology's there. I own the technology. I've got it. It's in my gear, and I'll be glad to meet up if these guys are sincere. And it's like, this is real. I'll be glad to meet up with them, and I'll bring my gear, and we'll set it up, and we'll see. I want to know. I've got a very curious mind, and I've had some strange experiences. But if you were to watch these videos, these guys, and they've got thousands and thousands, sometimes tens of thousands. One guy's got like over 1 million subscribers to his, and it's like, okay, I've been involved in this kind of research all my life. It's always been of interest to me because of my background in spirituality and religion and so forth. Yes, I've had some experiences, but there's no way. These people, it's like every week they've got another hoo. It's like, okay, this is entertainment, but I think you need to put this is for entertainment purposes, because I don't know of any honest to goodness paranormal expert, or there's not such a thing as a paranormal expert, but researcher, someone who's involved in this. You don't have that. You don't catch that much stuff. That level of strangeness does not happen on that consistent a level. And I'm not saying it never happens. It just, there's not enough that goes on that you could put out a video every week, and it's each and every one of them be ooh. And I've worked in a funeral home, and the person didn't die in a funeral home. People die everywhere. There's crosses on the side of the road where people died. People die at home. People die of natural causes. People die of accidents. People die of murder. Some are violent deaths. And if you walk the land that we all live on, there's probably hardly a acre of land anywhere that we walk on that someone hasn't breathed their last breath. We don't even have a good archaeological record going back to infinity on this land, and we're all the time discovering new things. So for thousands of years, at least, we know that people have lived, walked, breathed, and died on all this land. Why, and of course, so you set up this stage. I get it. It's like entertainment, and you set up this stage, and it's you're set, you're ready. It's I don't know. I want to be genuine as possible with all this stuff. That's why I'm not calling this a Dybbuk box. I don't know what it is, and I'm not saying what it is. I don't have a clue what's in it. It's not been opened. I don't know if I'm going to open it. I don't know where it's going to lead. But go back and look at what I stumbled into at that cemetery, and if any of you recognize it as something that you have seen anything similar to. I mean, the shape of it, everything about it uh, has strange. I mean, it doesn't fit with the rectangle wooden boxes people are finding. It doesn't even look like those, even though there's a couple of similarities, but the shape and the material of the box and everything else is totally different than what all these people are presenting on their YouTube channels. Be interesting, be fascinating, interested in input. So that was yesterday, and I'd be very, very interested in seeing what people have to say. Go back and watch it. I will, when I get to where I can, I'll try. Well, it's the video right before this one. So there you go. And there's going to be a follow-up today because I'm going to talk more when I get to the office about what I discovered online. And, I can't find, if it were, is it somebody's cremains? Could be. But it's a strange location just to set a vessel with cremains. I've dealt with cremains, and it's not like any container I've ever seen for cremains. And that doesn't mean that somebody's cremains could not be in it. And hopefully, if that's the case, there'll be some paperwork, some indication inside this container that could lead me to who this belongs to, or at the very least, inter it with proper, a tombstone or something, so that the cremains are identifiable and recorded as to where they are. So if there's some family member at some point, that would be helpful. If it were something like that, you would hope to be able to get this back to the nearest relative to where it belongs. Other than that, you would want some kind of proper disposal in the ground, interred, and a marker. Just document. So, I can't say the only thing that would make you think cremains is because it was found in a cemetery, in lifting and shaking the box. I don't think it's got the weight to it because I have handled the cremains of an adult individual. If it's an adult individual, there's not enough cremains, there's not enough weight to it to make me believe that it is an adult, the cremains of an adult. It could be the weight of it when I lifted it, carried it, shook it, and whatnot. Nothing rattled. Could be the cremains of a child. That is possible. It's just far. Cremains have some weight. That's all I can say, because you've got the bone, you've got all this material that's, first of all, they get the temperature up, the flesh and organs and all that soft tissue burns, becomes ash, and the bones don't really burn. The bones end up being crushed, and so the cremains end up more of a granular. It's not like ashes you would find from, having a bonfire and burning wood and that sort of stuff. It doesn't resemble that at all. It's more of a sandy, granular type of material that remains from the body. So, and that's why it has weight. The skeleton, the bone does not burn like the flesh does. A lot of that ends up getting just crushed and ground, and that's what becomes all part of the cremains. And it's not like it. I don't know. I'm getting my terms right, but I'm not. The closest I can come, which is not accurate, something like the material crystallizes. It becomes hard. It's not that fine. If you burn wood, that the same stuff you'd use like on Ash Friday that you couldn't do that with cremains, because it's a whole different material that ends up being those remnants, what we call the ashes of someone. It just totally different than what you would find from, like I say, a bonfire, burning paper, wood, or any material like that. So anyway, speculation is all I'm doing. I am getting closer to my office. I'm going to shut this down, and we're going to go the third thing that I didn't talk about. Let me get that out of the way. So the psychomantium I've got some video on this channel explaining that, the psychomantium. I want you all to be familiar with that because it's what we use to help people get through a grieving process. It has a healing factor to it. Some people propose and claim that they have actually communicated with a deceased loved one. I'm not going to tell you what your experience will be, but we got two unique ones. One of them we're still working on because we're taking a little bit step further. If you're familiar with Dr. Raymond Moody out of Anniston, Alabama, he coined the term NDE, near-death experience, and he took this mirror scrying from ancient Greek philosophy and whatnot. They used to call it psychomantium, necromantium, and he calls it psychomantium, and it's like mirror scrying. He's got a certain angle to it. We're taking it to a little bit different angle because we have a little bit different things to work with today than even what he had when he started this back in the 60s and 70s and so forth. Technology's progressed and there's things that we can do with that. So we're turning a pull-behind trailer into a portable psychomantium, and we're going to hopefully have that complete by December. And there's a certain routine to go about using it to get the best and fullest effect out of it. We have a portable. When I say portable, I mean truly portable psychomantium, and I'm going to try to do. That's what I was going to do today too. That was going to take up a big part of my day till this other thing was found at the cemetery that kind of distracted me. But I want to do a video of this other miniature psychomantium, mini-me psychomantium. Anyway, I've got it. I want to talk about it, and I want to video that as well. I hope I have enough time in the day to do all this, but we'll find out. First things first, it's 7:30. Courthouse opens at 8. I'm a little bit early, which I like to be. It is my nature. And get this couple married, then I'm going to talk and do a little bit further investigation on this item that I found in the cemetery, and then before the day is over, talk about this little mini-me psychomantium. All right, hope y'all having a good day, and we'll chat with you a little bit later in this day. Look for more videos. Again, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell up there so that you can be notified constantly, not just this topic, post all kind of interesting, quirky, fun stuff around the South that you may have not heard of. And you go through, if you don't have time to get to all these places, you kind of get a feel for what's available for you to go have some fun. From the Mount Nebo Cemetery with the death mask tombstones to Rattlesnake Saloon, Dismal's Canyon. I go on and on and on and on about the places. And so in the next week or so, I got a real fascinating place I'm going to do a film. Just did one, Art Town. It's just right down the road here in the list of videos. So check all those out. You can spend a lot of time watching all those videos. Some of them are narrated. Some of them just have some music kind of in the background. Coming up with the office, going to be pulled in the parking lot. We'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Take care.